Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Dead, and this is The Walking Dead Season 9, Chilling Death Pursuit. So today we're going to talk about, I think, Alpha and Beta's overall plan. I do want to say there are spoilers out there. We are not going to discuss spoilers today. I want to thank everybody for being here. We will be streaming tomorrow night at 8 p.m., and we will do our first second half spoiler episode, so the gloves will come off. I know there's information starting to filter in. I'm just going to ask you guys to kind of hold on to it a little bit more. Not everybody wants to know, but there's nothing really shocking at this point. Let me put it that way. I don't know if I just spoiled a spoiler. Most everything that we have talked about has been confirmed and related. There's a little bit of a comic book theme happening. And you guys have probably seen the chat, and we have speculated. So I'm only going to give you just kind of that one tidbit of spoilers, and then we're going to kind of leave it at that. I saw it posted a little bit earlier. Yes, as the comic book art goes, Rosita is pregnant, and we did speculate this. So we did say that when Negan was in the jail cell, he heard that Rosita was with other people. So apparently the comic book and what we kind of talked about is confirmed through Spoiling Dead's fan page. It looks like it will be Sadiq. So just want to throw that out there. Now you guys know. So with the rest of the spoilers, if you guys want to tune in, now that's not going to tell you who's killed, who's not killed. That's just a tidbit of information. There is some other stuff out there, and we will dig in that tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Keep in mind, we are going to do our stream today. We're going to have a couple premieres over the weekend. I'll talk about that in 1 second. Before I get into that, let me give a super duper super chat shout out to Valar. Says, hello 99 Army, Kill Steph, Emmy, Kel, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, patrons, and of course all the super chatters. So we're 2 weeks out, and usually a week or two before the premiere or the mid-season premiere, we do talk spoilers. So one of the reasons why we set up multiple channels is so people can pick and choose what they want to see, what's speculation, what's premiere. So we don't just kind of throw all the information out there, and we don't have some of the speculation stuff to talk about, because that's what I really enjoy. I enjoy the funneling the theories down and what you guys think is going to happen. And this Chilling Death Pursuit, none of this is confirmed that we're going to talk about, but I see more of a big umbrella or a blanket kind of over the top of what's going on. So there's going to be these subplots that happen, what's going on with Negan, what's going on with the story, who gets along with who. But in the background, you've got Alpha really putting together some master military type plan. Let me also say this, that I'm not sure exactly who it was. It was a dual theory, and I am going to, if this happens, I am going to stake the claim and say that the 999 Army talked about this first before anybody else did it, and I know many of you kind of chimed in. I think it was a little bit of one of our viewers, Jake from State Farm, kind of started talking about it, and then it might have been Valar, could have been Walking Dead Nerd. It was multiple people, but we were the first. And those of you watching the playback, go back and watch videos from a couple months ago. We were the first to come up with the Red Fair concept that this would be like the Red Wedding. I remember the stream. I remember us talking about it. I remember everybody like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And now I'm starting to see other people tweet it, other videos coming out talking about it. So before it was even a concept, it was discussed right here. And what's cool about that, not that I'm kind of bragging or trying to take everybody's credit, because it may not even happen, right? But if it does happen, that's what all of you do. I mean, that's where we get together. We sort of come up with our ideas, and sometimes we're really on to something. And it was one of those streams where, remember we were talking about Simon, we were talking about Negan killing Simon, like, yeah, that makes sense. It's going to happen that way. This sort of felt that way also. So don't be surprised if it is confirmed within the next few weeks, and then you see every YouTube channel out there, coining the phrase Red Fair, Red Fair, Red Fair. You guys really created that first and foremost. I kind of saw it, and I don't remember who it was, and we sort of developed it. So with that Chilling Death Pursuit, and if you guys remember the stream, we actually talked about maybe Ezekiel getting executed there. That may or may not happen. It still is a possibility. But yeah, exactly, Kimberly G. Proof that the 999 Army is awesome. So you guys are great. So once again, as I said, there are spoilers that are out there. They're not super major spoilers, but tune in tomorrow at noon. We're not going to talk about them then. We're going to have another Walking Dead topic. But tomorrow night at 8 will be our first official Walking Dead Season 9 second half spoiler stream. So if you want to get involved in that, then we will go through how the episode's going to play out. Now, there will still... you're right, Mike Reiser. We coined the phrase RJ is real too. And if you don't believe it, look down below when we're doing the 999 Gaming. You'll see the gear. You can buy a onesie that says RJ is real. So Scott Kernan says, "Hey Kills, what do you think of the episode titles?" Scott, I have not reviewed all the episode titles, to be perfectly honest. If you want to post a couple of them, I'll give you kind of a little bit of my snap reaction. Otherwise, we'll talk about them a little bit tomorrow if you guys want like a little bit of more detail. Where's the follow-up question? Walking Dead Nerd said, on this channel, yes, tomorrow night we will be here with spoiler chat, but it will be announced in advance. So there's going to be a couple premieres that we're going to do either tonight or tomorrow on the 999 Gaming channel. And then, also we'll do the 999 Army, and we'll do some extended chat with that as well. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Beta's wearing a 999 shirt. I love it. He needs one. We need to definitely get him one. I think when I do Comic-Con, I'm just going to go in with some 999 shirts and not just have them give us shout-outs. I'm going to say, hey, dude, if I'm going to pay you $100 or whatever, for 2 minutes of airtime, stick this shirt on. You're gonna get us some advertising publicity, or we'll get them like a jacket or something along those lines. I do want to say, you guys bundle up next week. Apparently, the whole Midwest is going to be negative 20 to 30 degrees. I'm worried about Emmy. Not going to disclose her location, but boy, she's going to be in the heart of it. So hopefully, our thoughts go out to everybody that's going to hit this real cold wave. All right. So I think I did all the advertising. If you guys are not sure where the streams are, what we're going to do, check out the Walking Dead 999 Army Facebook page. We've got a ton of new people that have signed up for that. Thank you. Appreciate you guys being there. All the people that are new in streams, I saw a couple people like, yes, I finally get to make a stream live. The main difference between the stream live and the playback is when it's live, I'm probably going to read, your name from time to time and a comment, and it's going to be like, Carrie Stoffenberger says, I can't handle any more snow. So you don't wait for somebody else to sort of respond to your comment. I'm going to do it real time. I'm going to do it as you guys are typing it and get you included in that. So Julie McGuire, negative 50 degrees in Illinois on Wednesday. That is sick. That is sick. So stay warm. Scott Kernan super chatting. Here's a couple of the titles. I think we'll do a deeper dive into these tomorrow, Scott, so we can break down each one of them. So 9-9 adaptation, that may be adapting to change in leadership. We went from Maggie, we went to Jesus, we went to Tara, so we know that's going down. 9-10, Omega. Oh boy, that definitely is a whisper. 9-11, Bounty. Could that have to do with the cowboy, or could that have to do with the festival, a.k.a. fair? Then you got Guardians, and then Choke Point. So 9-14 Choke Point, that definitely has a flashback theme. I think that's the episode that is the flashback. So Choke Point, maybe they're trapped. And Guardians, to me that kind of screams out the loyalty of the Whisperers. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll dig down to each title, but I appreciate you posting that. And we'll funnel it down. We'll do what we do. So let me get into today's topic just a little bit. We got 100, 150, 200 people back and forth streaming. You guys do me a favor. Pike that like button. If you guys are excited, if you're ready for this 2-week countdown, if you're, I don't know any other way to say it. I think when we start to turn the corner, when The Walking Dead seems real to me, is 2 weeks, and tomorrow will be the 2-week countdown, which is why we're going to start the spoilers and sort of break down the topics. But we got a lot of other stuff going on. We got The Passage is really starting to kind of perk up a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just I'm ready, man. I'm so ready to get into it. Not just the spoilers, but kind of the spoilers and the speculation going side by side, because we never get it. We never get it all. But once again, stay tuned for that. All right, so Walking Dead Season 9, Chilling Death Pursuit. When I watched the teaser and started looking through that, the one thing that I pieced together, or that I thought was interesting, was how Alpha and Beta are standing side by side. And they sort of, they have this plan, and it's not a whole army of Whisperers, it's a few. It's not like this big, big group, but it is important that it's Alpha and Beta side by side. And then in some of the other pictures, we see Carol and Ezekiel, so they're fighting side by side. But inevitably, groups get split up. It is kind of like the holy grail of horror movies. Like, you got a group, and then you go this way, you go that way. And I think Alpha and Beta are going to do that, but the difference is they're organized. They've been watching, they've been scoping. Every other group is disorganized. And the only way our group is going to win is when they have someone that can come up with a strategy. We also speculated that if we get a little bit of Alpha's backstory, it's very possible, maybe even likely, she's ex-military. And that, I think that's important for a couple different reasons. One, when you think of, not all militaries, but when you think of most military, you think smaller groups, whether it's like, SEALs or Rangers, you go hit that, we'll go hit that, covert operations, like all of these things. They already whisper, so, they're not screaming out what their battle plans are. They already have, like, their military armor. That's the walker suits in the faces, which allows them to blend. In this day and age, it's not like going to be, Glenn's riot gear or bulletproof vest or anything. These people are walking around with knives and machetes for the most part, and they blend. The dog is going to be a big part of that because I think that's, as weird as it sounds, I think the tide is going to completely turn by that dog knowing more information than other people and seeing through things a little bit more than other people. So Scott Kern says, she was once the Omega, episode 10 will explain. So the beginning, the end, whether, we're moving forward with the story, whether we're going backwards with the story. But even if she's not official military, right? Her strategy is so much more organized than what we've seen so far. Would you guys agree with that? I mean, the Saviors were just kind of brawn. Beat them down, make them submit, recruit a few people, throw them a bone here or there, reward them if you need to. Then you get Terminus and, that group, it was about organization, but food. We're going to turn people into food. We got to eat. So I would probably say, of all the groups that we've seen up to this point, the Governor is probably the most structured, organized. Would you guys agree with that? Like, he had a tank, so it doesn't hurt to have a tank. But a combination, the Governor was a little bit of brainwashing, a little bit of structure. And by brainwashing, what I mean is their way of life is wrong, our way of life is right. So when I see the Whispers, I see a more primitive version of the Governor. They don't need the fancy houses. They don't need these things. But their structure seems very much like the Governor's group. And you also have that whole concept of where, Alpha, in the comic, Alpha and Rick, they look down on Rick's way of life. So Alpha seems to be a stronger, smarter, more twisted version of the Governor. Because the Governor, is about, he had a little craziness to him. I mean, he had to, you know what? I mean, let's think about this for a second. The Governor actually had a bunch of cut off heads. Well, Alpha has a bunch of cut off heads. So I think there are a lot of huge parallels, both visibly and also in the way they go about things. But I do think that we're going to walk away from this. They're going to do things with Alpha that they weren't able to do with the Governor. And I think it's going to take, I agree with that. This will be to a whole different level. Maybe the Walking Dead universe wasn't quite ready for it. But now they're ready for it. And it has to be complete and utter evil. So we know that Alpha's been watching. We know that she's been biding her time. They were kind of forced into the killing of Jesus. The group just went out too far. So I do think Alpha was probably going to strike anyway. I don't think it was just one of those things like, it was probably bad coincidence. They're getting ready, they're watching, they're doing things, but you just happen to overstep your bounds a little bit. That whole radio thing, they figured, it's time to escalate the action plan. We weren't going to do this for a couple more months. We're going to wait until the fair officially, or we're going to wait till maybe it cooled off a little bit. I think she had her time frame, and they've probably been doing some things here or there. But the group just got, I hate to say it like this because it sounds sympathetic toward Alpha. The group just kind of was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now it's time to stifle any activity before they get wind of what's going on. So if she is official military, we'll find out yes or no. But this, and this is why I titled Death Pursuit. Did you guys kind of catch on the one theme with this new teaser is how, and I don't know the location, but it looked like the Whisperers were breaking through and there were two almost like recliners. Maybe I'm wrong with that. It almost seemed like it was a theater type of thing. Either they were going through a tent that had a couple recliners, and then you've got this scene of Beta, and it kind of looks like maybe it's either the cellar at Hilltop or it's something at Alexandria. So when you take bits and pieces of this, it almost looks like they're hitting all these different areas. So Beta's in charge of one group. You go hit that. And then just some Whisperers, maybe another kind of minor sergeant, could be a Gamma, an Omicron, could be, one of the group that we said here, hitting another area. And I think it's important that before they get a chance to sort of rally the troops and come up with a system, it's like, all right, when the sun comes up, bam, 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 hit them all at one time, just to put kind of complete and utter fear and decimation. So if they are pursuing this, then I would say we don't have a confirmation yet of a major death, and we're not going to discuss it here. So I want to throw it out there. If you guys see them breaking into these various areas, is this going to be they're storming through looking for Lydia at this point? They don't know where Lydia is. Or are they going through and just wreaking havoc? And is this later on where it's a coordinated attack and they're actually killing people on all fronts? The Omicron just kind of let us in. An attack on all fronts. Or are they just kind of, Brat says, are they raiding the shelves? We're going to go in, we're going to take what we want. We're coming in, we're looking for someone. Or is this later on and it's just like, go in and kill whoever you can? Leave your thoughts and comments to that, because I just want to see where everybody is. They're hangry. I love it. There we go. See, we need that commercial. We need like Beta, going through and just kind of killing people, and then he gets a Snickers bar, and then he turns into Jerry. You know what? I'm marketing genius. Sign me up right now. I should do the first. I should direct the first Walking Dead commercial. There it is, right there. You're not you when you're hungry. Beta turns into Jerry. So once again, many of you watching the playback, keep in mind, as many of you know, there are spoilers that are out there. We are going to discuss spoilers at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't want you here at noon tomorrow, because noon tomorrow, we are going to dig down a little bit deeper into Walking Dead topics. I love these Saturday streams. I love getting together with our regular group and also some people that can't attend during the week because either the stream's a little late or it's overseas or it's a little early for them. So we're going to do a Sunday stream as well tomorrow at noon for people that missed this, and it will kind of develop the topic a little bit more. And then tomorrow I'm expecting most of the Army, except the people like, hey, I don't want to know the spoilers. Now, I will tell you the spoilers so far. If you want to kind of get in and know a little information, it's not super, super major stuff. So I feel like most people can probably get involved with the spoilers and not feel like, okay, well, that kind of ruined it because Ezekiel died in the first episode. That's not going to happen, okay? So I still think it'll be some bullet points, some things to talk about, and then we'll be able to take that information and really drill down to give us a path of what we're going to see in the next episode, the next episode, and the next episode. And I feel like we're off to a really good start. So it feels like, give me the spoilers, give me the spoilers. So I'm going to ask the Army right now, if you had to bank on it, and you had to bank next week's paycheck, the first major death in the second half will be blank. The first major death in the second half. Your prediction right now before we get any confirmation that's out there. We've got Henry, a pregnant Rosita, Ezekiel. I'm hearing Alden. I'm hearing Luke. So I'm gonna narrow it down. This is not confirmed yet. And I'm only saying major because of this. First of all, I don't think Alden or Luke are major characters. But I think one of those two are going to get blasted with a shotgun. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that would just kind of break some of the norms of Alpha? Like, okay, she's just going to negotiate. Nope. She's going to cut somebody's head off. How about Alpha just blows one of them up with a shotgun? Is that a possibility? Pick one. And then the other one is trade bait for Lydia. And scared trade bait as well. So you blow up Luke, you take Alden back, or you blow up Alden and you take kind of a Luke back as a trade-off, and it's like, hold on. Where's the other one? Nope, it's 1 for 1. So I think one dies, one gets traded, and I don't want to see him waste. You know what? I'm gonna be accused of being a Whisper fan. I don't want to see him waste the opportunity to be evil, and I think her with a shotgun. All right, put your hands up. We got Kitty Cat with a super chat. Says hopefully Father G, but not Henry. Good bold prediction. Thank you for that. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate your involvement. Would anybody else be... Look, I don't want to see characters die, but it's a necessity. So would anybody else be disappointed if that was Alpha's MO? I mean, if she kind of puts the shotgun and says, all right, you're coming with me, and puts the gun down. No. Any henchman with the Whispers can do that. She's got to be like, she's got to say something dark, twisted, clever, let her guard down, and then bang. And it's going to be just the shock of what just happened. I mean, that would be brutal. That would be brutal. And I think that we're going to need brutality. We're going to need Whisperer brutality. Mystics is like, yes, that'll be amazing. Anytime I mention a Whisperer type execution, I really rally up the Whisperer fans here. If you're going to do all these teasers and you're going to, make them dark and evil and scare everybody, you better come through. Right. I mean, Lark, she's quoting me. I don't want to see these characters die, but it's a necessity. It is, because the Whispers cannot be played out in a weak, timid sort of way. This is going to go down, and anytime I say this, I always get bashed by other TV show fans. Like, if I'll say something like, oh, this is one of the greatest plot lines in the history of TV, then they'll go back and like, Kills, what about MASH? What about Friends? What about, CSI? Like all these things. So I get really excited when I'm on, my Walking Dead fan category. But I am going to say it, because we're going to look back on the Whisper arc much like we look back on the Governor, much like we look back on Terminus, much like we look back on Negan. And we're going to debate whether or not the writers and the showrunners did a good job with this story. So if it's not a little scary, if it's not in a way that maximizes their potential, we're going to criticize it. And it is going to undermine how good the Whisperer theme is in the comic, and it's going to be a missed opportunity on the television show. So as much as I don't like that Abraham and Glenn died, it is the most chilling episode for me up to this point, and it's very, very memorable. So when we get to the end of this Whisper story a year from now, 2 years from now, we're going to need to look back on it and say, oh man, when Alpha blasted that dude with the shotgun, oh, when she killed a pregnant Rosita, oh, when she stabbed Ezekiel in the back, or oh, remember how pale how afraid they were when she brought these heads back and it was Henry and they saw that the first time. I mean, those are going to be the things that we walk away from remembering. It's not going to be Jerry and a cowboy looking at each other kind of, who are you, who are you? That's not what we're going to remember. We're going to remember the darkness that they brought to the table. So I'm going to agree with most of you, and I say if it is a chilling death pursuit, this scene, I think, is them combing through stuff, looking, where is Lydia? Alpha's pissed. I want my daughter back. That look on his face doesn't look like I'm here to murder. It looks like you go this way, you go that way. Let's go through things. And then we kind of saw him what looks like at the Kingdom. So I think it is it's a coordinated search party. I don't think it's a coordinated attack. I think the Walking Dead writers are holding it close to the vest at this point. But I do think that I think the shotgun scene is going to be something that is shocking and very kind of quick and to the point. One of those where you let your guard down, you think you're safe, and then bam, something goes down. And Alpha needs a strong introduction. So those of you that don't agree the shotgun scene, type really quickly. We're going to wind this down. We're keeping it at 30 minutes. How do you see, we will see Alpha and Beta. How do you see Alpha's introduction? Mild, story to be told, or brutal, aggressive killing to set the tone right there? Do you think they go one of three? Small, medium, or do they go big, or do they go home? Leave your thoughts and comments right now. Brutal aggressive says Mitch. Michael Wallace says brutal. Jeep says brutal. Julie McGuire, brutal. So most everybody. Brat says brutal. Dark Start Killer, go big. Lisa says medium. So you can already see the expectation is there. They've been talking about the Whispers. They've been teasing the Whispers. Angela Kang's been talking about how good she does it and how dark she is with this. So anything less than that is going to be a mild disappointment. One thing we will do tomorrow night as well is we will, once we go over the spoilers, we will give our pre-estimates of how good we think the show is going to be once we have the data in front of everybody. I want to thank everybody for being here. We're at 29 minutes. We are going to wind the stream down. This is The Walking Dead Season 9, Chilling Death Pursuit. I don't have a schedule for the rest of the day. However, I did mention this a little bit earlier. It is possible we will either add comic book reads or a video like we did last week. If we do that, I'll announce it. It's called a premiere, where I do a video in advance. I will post it on the 999 Gaming channel, and all of us will watch it together. So it is it's a little weird kind of hanging out with you guys watching a video of myself talking, but it does allow me to interact real time, to kind of type. It is not a replacement for the live streams. There is still involvement, interaction. It is just pre-recorded, and we have a lot of fun with that. That's the way we're going to do our comic book reads in the future. So when a comic book read is posted, I will be right there with you as the comic book is being read and explained. So I would expect maybe 2 to 3 premieres between today and tomorrow. We will have 2 live streams as well. So noon tomorrow, we'll do our Walking Dead chat, and then tomorrow night at 8, spoiler chat. We're going to be hanging out. It's going to be our 2-week countdown. And then, of course, there's a calendar on the 999 Army page that shows you everything else that we do. We do Passage countdown on Monday night. We do Passage reactions as well, random things, and then a lot of Walking Dead chat between now and the next 2 weeks. Thanks, everybody. Want to thank all the patrons, top left-hand corner. Thank you for everything that you guys do. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Also, the sponsors in the top right-hand corner, the moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells. Also, our super chatters. We got a regular group of super chatters, and I'm sure they're going to be in full effect tomorrow during the spoiler streams as well. So we've got Valar, thank you so much. Scott Kernan, also Kitty Cat. I appreciate everything that you guys do. And everybody else, give me quickly, 999. Let me get as many shout-outs as I possibly can because we're running over in this video just a touch. So I want to say what's up to Edwin Gonzalez, Leanne Gash, Joyce Andrews, thank you, Ron Burgundy Moore, Gina Crockett, thank you for being here, Colleen Hayes, Najee Watts, Viola McGowan, Michael Wallace, Deborah Farrell, Julie McGuire, Heart of Nixie, Negan's Sandwich, Diana Hammond, Michelle M., Julia Muse, Rubelo's channel, thank you, Omicron, Lakeisha Faison, Eric C., Mr. Two Phones, Robin Vance, Linda Clausen, Ramona Heath, thank you, Heisenberg Gonzo, thank you so much. Justin D. The Walking Dead Nerd. Phyllis 9654. Diana C. Fluff Salisbury. Special shout out to Fluff Jr. making the honor roll. Good job with that, man. Send him all of our support. Michael Curie. Scully Star Fashions. Jennifer Flaherty, thank you for being here. Crystal Singer Chick. Michelle M. Rebecca Mendez. I see a lot of new faces, too. If you guys are new, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe. We will have more live streams, more interaction. You'll find us here every night during Walking Dead season. So, just want to interact with each and every one of you. We do reactions. We do countdowns. A little bit of something for everybody. Dave Doherty, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Samantha Coombs, David Marsh. And if I missed you in a shout-out for whatever reason, and I do from time to time, Jeep, what's up? Please don't ever take it personally. It's just who shows up in my screen. If you guys missed a shout out, just send me a message and say, hey, Kill, it's been 3 or 4 videos. You haven't shouted me out, because I just want everybody to know that you guys are a part of the growth and development of this channel. Thanks, everybody. I will see you all. Look for some premieres, maybe later on this afternoon or even tonight. But I will make an announcement on the Facebook 999 Walking Dead Army page before we go live with any premieres. Peace.